Welcome viewers to our third video on this video series on paleontology. In this video, we will discuss about the theories of evolution. Evolutionary thought is the recognition that species change over time and the ongoing effort to understand the mechanism behind those changes. Today, evolutionary biology stands as a unifying theory of life science, explaining the fundamental unity and incredible diversity of all life on Earth. So we will trace this journey from its ancient philosophical roots to the cutting-edge extended synthesis of 21st century. So long before the modern era, cultures ranging from ancient Greeks to the indigenous groups like Navajo and Aboriginal Tasmanians held rudimentary ideas about humans descending from other animals. In 1809, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck proposed the first fully formed theory of evolution, known as the transmutation of species. While his idea of inheriting traits acquired through use and disuse was later disproven, Lamarck was a pioneer in recognizing that organisms adapt to their environment over time. Later in mid-19th century brought a revolutionary breakthrough when Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace independently conceived the theory of evolution through natural selection. Darwin's insights were shaped by his 5-year voyage on HMS Beagle, while Wallace reached his conclusion through extensive fieldwork in the Amazon and Malay archipelago. In 1858, their ideas were presented jointly to the Linnean Society of London, fundamentally altering the course of science. Darwin's 1859 masterwork on the origin of species provided a cogent mechanism for how evolution persists, the struggle for existence. The theory posits that because individuals within a population exhibit variation in their traits, those better suited to their environment are more likely to survive and reproduce. This process of natural selection allows favorable traits to be passed down and accumulate, eventually leading to the formation of a new species. For decades, Darwin's theory faced a major hurdle. He couldn't explain how source of variation or how traits were inherited without being blended away. This missing link arrived to a rediscovery of George Mendel's work, which demonstrated that inheritance is governed by the discrete units we now call genes. Although initially seen as a challenge to the Darwinism, Mendelian genetics eventually provided a mathematical foundation for the modern evolutionary theory. In the 1930s and 40s, scientists achieved the modern synthesis, a landmark integration of natural selection, Mendelian genetics, and population dynamics. Key figures like Theodosius Davinsky, Ernst Mayr, and Ronald Fisher unified various fields including botany, paleontology, and systematics under a single framework. This synthesis ended the eclipse of Darwinism and established the gene-centered view that dominated the biological thoughts for the next half-century. The rise of molecular biology in 1950s opened a new frontier, the study of DNA and protein sequences. In 1968, Moto Kimura introduced the natural theory of molecular evolution, suggesting that most genetic variation at molecular level is not driven by selection, but by random genetic drifts of natural mutation. This theory shifted the focus from purely adaptive explanation to a more complex view of genetic change. Evolutionary development biology, or EVO-DEVO, emerged to fill the critical gap in the modern synthesis, the role of embryonic development. Researchers discovered a development genetic toolkit, a small set of ancient highly conserved genes that control the body plans of organisms as diverse as fruit flies and humans. This field demonstrates how small changes in regulation of these genes can lead to a morphological innovation in nature. Now we know that evolution is not always vertical tree. Horizontal gene transfer allows organisms to exchange genes directly. Some scientists argue that early life existed as a communal network of high AGT until it crossed a Darwinian threshold, where vertical inheritance became accurate enough to allow separate tree-like lineages to emerge. Today, AGT remains a vital force, particularly in rapid evolution of antibiotic resistance in bacteria. As we move to 21st century, many biologists are calling for an extended evolutionary synthesis. This framework aims to incorporate factors like epigenetic inheritance, niche construction, and evolvability into our core understanding of life. The EES views organisms not just as passive product of selection, but as active participants that can shape their own evolutionary pathways through their behavior and environmental interaction. From Alfred Russel Wallace's jungle observation to modern genomic labs, our understanding of evolution continues to deepen. As new discoveries in genomics, ecology, and microbiology emerge, they do not refute Darwin's legacy. Instead, they widen the trails he and Wallace blazed over 150 years ago. Evolution remains dynamic, ongoing conservation between the history of life and the mechanism that continue to shape it today. So this is all about our third video. To know more about the invertebrate paleontology, check out our next video. Thank you.